Ladies, 75% of black women never get married. 75% never marry. Do you wonder why? I'll tell you why I think that is on the other side.
Brian Greene, Optimal Happiness Guy, is a Renaissance man, a part of the Talented 10, published author of Amazon's #1 new release, Optimal Happiness, Love Ain't Never Been Enough, certified imitator at Becoming Enhancing Growth, LLC, entrepreneur of Body Goals and Scale Hacks.
All right. Welcome to all my lions and all my lioness and those that desire to be either. Welcome to another episode of Optimal Happiness Guy. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, share with a friend. And be honest too. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Comment. Let's have a conversation. Today's topic, I almost forgot my light. I ain't gonna forget it today. All right. Today's topic is, why don't women make concessions? All right. It's a very intriguing thing. And I want to talk about it, lay out a few points, and just share some thoughts that might be able to help somebody. If I help one person, great. All right. So to get into it, understanding the dating dynamic. Women date across and up. Across being dating somebody very similar to themselves, or they're equals. All right. Up is them dating a person that's a higher quality human being than they are. So women date across and up. Now men, on the other hand, we date across and down. Down being we date women that are not as quality human beings as we are. This is what happens. All right. This is why you see men dating women that maybe work in the fast food spot or some factory somewhere. Not shitting on people that have those jobs, but those are jobs that people don't typically want to be doing. They do what they got to do to survive. I've worked in a factory before for a few years, so I get it. But the question is, why are men willing to date down? And the answer is, we learn to do it, right? We learn to do it. So this is typically what happens. We try to go after the best that we can get. We go after the 10, the dime piece, right? We can't get that dime piece because we don't qualify. In order to get that dime piece, you got to have a lot of money. That's one equation. The other equation is you can be, really good looking, fairly good looking, be in really good shape, and have a good sex game, really, really good sex game, and you can get a dime piece. That's why you see them guys that are gym buffs and Mr. Universe and bodybuilders. They usually keep a baddie with them, right? So that's two different equations. You can be super attractive as a man, or you can have your finances and make some money, right? But anyway, we go after that dime piece and we can't get her. We can't get her. So guess what we do? We go after the 9. Can't get the 9. Guess what we do? We'll go after the 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? We can get a 1. All right, bet. We take that 1. We date her. We marry her. Now, unfortunately, we take that 1 that's what we garner. We garner a 1. Then we get our weight up, maybe become rich, famous, some type of status. Now we can get better than a 1. We can get a 9 now, a 10 now. So we usually upgrade from the 1 or whatever we had to the best that we can get. That's how men operate. All right. So the question that I ask you today, ladies, lioness, why don't women date down? You may or may not know. But the reason why women don't date down is Darwinism. It's survival of the fittest, natural selection. Only the strong survive, right? That's how we evolve as a species. That's women date the most dominant male in a group or in a species. That ensures or helps to increase the likelihood that a species not only survives, but it thrives and evolves, right? So women are wired that way. Women just don't want to date down, all right? They can't help it, just the way it is. So women date men predominantly in the 80th percentile or higher. What that actually means is women date the top 20% of men. The other way of saying that is women eliminate or don't date 80% of the men that are available to them. Super unwise, right? As a woman ages, becomes less attractive, she has a diminishing returns. And to eliminate 80% of possible suitors is unwise based on the diminishing return game that you're already playing, right? So, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. I don't want this video to run too long. The point of it is the current strategy is not working. 75% of women never get married. Black women, 75% of black women never get married. So what do we do about that, ladies? Do we just keep doing what you're already doing is not working at a 75% clip? 75%, it does not work. Just keep doing the same way, right? No, we got to do something differently. All right. So what I propose is you have to learn to make concessions, just like men. You can't get a dime piece as a man, you go to a 9. Can't get the 9, you go to an 8. We're making concessions. Men go older, men go younger. All right. Men date women are all across the age spectrum. 25, some even go 21 to 60, 55, whatever their number is. Men date. All right. We get out here and we make concessions based on what we garner. Women, another equation for you that I recommend often is you got to date older men. Find your older man. Most women want to be the apple of his eye, the young tenderoni, the catch. Get your older man. All right. When I say older, 15 years older, and maybe even more, 15 to 25 years. I don't think you realize the mad dash for competition that you're in regarding men. You already outnumber us in population, right? You have to open up your market some way, somehow, and be at peace with it and find some happiness in that situation, in that relationship. All right. So going older is one of the concessions that you can make. But let's take a deeper dive into what concessions often look like. So it's super clear. You got to learn the characteristics of men in the percentiles, in the different brackets, and what they want from women. All right. So starting with I'm going to read this so I make sure I get it right. Starting with the top 1% down to the 95th percentile of men. These men are the best of the best. I don't think you understand how hard it is to actually get one of these men to marry you. But some of the characteristics that these men possess. These men are controlling. Think Burger King. Your way, right away. His way, right away. These men execute at a top level consistently. They are the best in the world at whatever it is that they do. They're good at problem solving. They're leaders. They're alpha males, by and large. These men are disciplined. They're financially sophisticated. They mature. They have a clear vision of what they want. They're very smart. These men are living in their purpose. That is extremely important. A man that is living in his purpose has a different level of focus, different level of excitement and zest for life. All right. And women aren't usually these men's top priority because they're living in their purpose. All right. So let's talk about what kind of women these men date and marry. They have tons of quality choices of women. They date women come dime a dozen, and they got $1. That's 120 women. Check my math. Some of you smart people, check my math on that. These women that they date are sophisticated, they're classy, they're proper ladies, they're dainty, they're feminine, they're submissive, agreeable. These are housewives. These women are the top 1 to 5% of beauty in the market. They cater to his every need as an absolute top priority. These women are in great shape at all times without fail. And most likely, they don't have any kids, so there'll be no step kids. All right? These are the men in the top 1% to 95th percentile. The best of the best in the world. If you can't get one of these men, let's go down. You got to make a concession. Let's go down to the 90th percentile, down to 75th percentile men. These men are still the top of the food chain. Make no mistake about it. Who are these men? These men are white collar. They're mid-level managers and business owners, supervisors. They're good at navigating corporate America. They have business skills. They're good executors. They're good at wearing the mask and not ruffling many feathers. That's how they survive a lot of times. These men are consistent. They're an alpha male and beta male mix. These men are ambitious. They have a good idea of what they want. A kid or two isn't the end of the world, but their preference is, but that's not their preference either. They understand and accept women have a past, and they're open to building together. Think power couples. Now, who do these men date and marry? These men have a lot of really good choices when it comes to women. They're open to a partner that has their own. She can have her own. These women are in the top 10 to 20% of attractive women in the market. They respect his time. They make time for him in most cases. Work may be her priority, then him as a close second. They usually like women that have a 9 to 5, as opposed to women that are working at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night for a boss. All right. These women are pretty. They're in better shape than most. They're helpful and responsible women. All right. If you can't get a man in this percentile, let's go down. You have to make a concession. Let's go down to the 74th to the 50th percentile in men. Who are these men? These men are above average men to average men. These men are supervisors. They often have entry-level roles for the most part in corporate America or some business company. These are factory workers, educators, blue-collar roles. These guys have bachelor degrees to high school diplomas to GEDs. These men are barbers, construction workers. They have a routine days, pretty much average intelligence. They do solid work and execute decently. They're flexible on partner type. They're more receptive to average women and women with prior kids. These men are not highly ambitious or competitive. Who do these men marry and date? Or date and marry? They date women that make good money. They view this as a huge asset because this woman making money lightens his load. These women are in average shape. Even heavier women are acceptable. These men tolerate a more aggressive, combative, and unreasonable woman. That's not ladylike. Think boss chicks. He is not her top priority in most cases, as she works to and has no issue letting him know, I worked today just like you worked. You got off before me. You should have made me dinner. Think that type of woman. All right. You have to be prepared to make some concessions, but you have to match these concessions with what you garner. Women aren't doing that. 75% of black women never get married. So women aren't making concessions. What they're saying is, I won't settle. Please watch my video about settling. I talk about that. Most women don't settle. They're just not calibrated properly to the market, their market value, and what they garner. But when they don't settle in their mind, they don't marry anybody. You have to learn to make some concessions. Men do it all the time. The data shows what you're currently doing, ladies, is not working. What concessions are you willing to make? Think about that. Educate yourself on these concessions, these different types of men, what they want in a woman and what kind of woman you are. All right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Optimal Happiness Guy. Do the work. Till next time, Optimal Happiness Guy. I'm out.
Brian Greene, Optimal Happiness Guy, is a Renaissance man, a part of the talented 10. Published author of Amazon's #1 new release, Optimal Happiness, Love Ain't Never Been Enough. Certified image consultant at Becoming Enhancing Growth, LLC. Entrepreneur of Body Goals